fans in their own stadium, something that would have been unthinkable not that long ago. I was fully prepared to go scorched earth on the whole outfit, but I do give some credit to Washington for at least fighting back in the second half and finding some footing. Not nearly enough, though, to end this drought that they've had in prime time, nor to end the systemic issues that plague the franchise. They remain. Rock bottom is a term that's been used so often it no longer really has any weight. Meanwhile, Bears fans, how are you feeling? Huh? You get a little nervous there when it got close? You're a little nervous about where this offense is? Maybe a little. Minnesota comes in next week. Both are 2-1 with losses to the Packers. After the game, time to get to the Ram Trucks post-game report. Lisa Salters with one of those defensive stars, Khalil Mack.
Khalil, how was your defense able to just completely dominate and wreck the game for Washington, possibly their season?
First off, God is good. God is so good. Came out here on Monday night, man, and these guys, they showed up and showed out.
What was the key to just dominating?
Man, we know Chicago Bears brand of football, and we want to come out and show the world, but we got to finish that second half.
You came into the game with one takeaway. You got 5 tonight. What was the difference?
Somebody asked me earlier in the week what's going on, why we're not getting as many. But the answer was to keep plugging away at it because we work on it in practice, and you're seeing it shows up in games.
Knowing that your offense might be struggling a little bit, in what way does that put even more pressure on you guys to kind of come out and just show out? Do you put more on yourselves?
It's a level of expectation that we work hard for. We expect to come out and try to dominate football teams. And these guys, they're back in, Kyle, Eddie Jackson, Prince. I got to take those guys to dinner. I got to take them to dinner this weekend.
Khalil, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Back to you guys.
Booger McFarland joins us now. And Booger, this Bears recipe is one that travels. You can lean on your defense, obviously, but you only get to play Washington once, and they're obviously struggling mightily. What concerns, if any, would you have if you're the Bears moving forward about an offense that does at times struggle to get a lot going?
Well, Scotty, the defense got 5 turnovers tonight and 4 sacks, and they gave the offense a lot of short fields, and the defense even scored tonight. My biggest concern would be if the defense doesn't give you any turnovers, if the defense doesn't give you a short field, can this offense, led by Mitch Trubisky, drive the football down the field? When the weather turns, can you run the football physically? They tried to get David Montgomery going tonight. I agree with that. Overall, though, it was a mixed bag tonight from Trubisky. A lot of good. But the interception to Josh Norman, just a bad throw down on the goal line. They have to become more consistent, but a good step in the right direction tonight.
Booger, I show my age, and as I'm fond of saying, we're all from somewhere, and that's where I'm from. But I remember the days of RFK, or I remember the days where if you traveled to take on the Redskins on the road, you feared that trip for a lot of different reasons. The Bears fans come in, and they absolutely take over the building. That's a trend we've seen. Happened with Dallas, happened with Philly last year. I could keep going. What's the vibe and the mood around that place in a primetime game where Washington's come up so small? How would you describe the environment tonight?
Well, the environment was, as you said, full of Bears fans. But more importantly, I look at how the team played.
Right.
An offensive head coach in Jay Gruden came out. The offense was non-existent for the most part of this game. And I think right now, when you look at the Redskins, not the fans, let's go on the field and look at this team.
That's more
important. Look at the Redskins.
More important.
They're 0-3 right now. And the offense is lackluster. I think we're at a point right now in Jay Gruden's tenure where it's not if he's going to be fired, it's when. He may prolong it a few weeks, but there's just not enough energy in this building. There's not enough energy, I think, from this football team. And I think eventually, whether it's a week or 2 weeks, I think Daniel Snyder's going to make a move at the head coaching position. Jay Gruden's been here. This is his 6th year. He's got 1 playoff appearance and 0 wins. At some point, you talk about this prideful organization. You talk about the old RFK and FedEx Field and everything that the Redskins stand for. And they don't have any postseason victories in the last 6 years, and it falls on Jay Gruden. And I think we're nearing the end of his tenure.
Well, I understand. I got a text chain with about a zillion friends that think it goes farther up the top than that. But as we know, the owner's the owner, and he's not getting rid of himself.
Exactly.
He's not going to get rid of himself.
You can't fire him.
Well, not when it's his squad. Booger, thank you so much. We'll talk again next week. Safe travels.
Anytime, Scotty. You know what, baby? I still ain't tired yet, buddy.
I know that's right. Thank you, sir. Neither are we. We'll keep on going, and we'll do our research on a game that was really lopsided for much of it. The Bears blow it open in the first half. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix gets things going. with a pick 6. They got 7 touchdowns on defense. That's 2 more than anybody else since the start of last season. Mitchell Trubisky, you get handed some short fields, make some things happen there. All 3 of the first half touchdown passes were thrown on the run. The only other play to do that in a game, I should say, the last 2 seasons, Patrick Mahomes. He throws lots of touchdown passes every different way. The recipient of those 3 in the first half, Taylor Gabriel, 3 touchdowns in a 6-minute, 17-second span. That's the fastest a player has reached 3 touchdowns since Andre Bad Moon Rising did it in 5 minutes and 42 seconds and 91. Also, the first time a wide receiver had 3 receiving touchdowns in the first half of a Monday Night Football game since the GOAT. And GOAT gets thrown around real casually, but that man right there, that's the GOAT. That's Jerry Rice. Ryan Clark is here. Hi.
Hey, brother.
How are you?
Doing well.
All right. You saw him at halftime. I was not in a good place.
Yeah, listen, I was ready for brimstone and fire when I came out here, but I watched you settle down.
The team fought in the second half.
They did fight.
And look, all I ask for as a fan is to see people be professional, and I felt like they were in the second half. But let's push back from them. The Redskins are not the story here. The Bears are. They won the North last year, and they're the team that has aspirations this year. But for them to have aspirations this year, how much better does their quarterback need to be?
He needs to be a whole lot better. And actually tonight makes me, if I'm a Chicago Bears defensive player, I'm even more worried tonight than I was coming into this game.
Why?
If you watch Mitchell Trubisky from the pocket, he had guys open all night, and he just couldn't hit them. Here you're going to see Montgomery get out of the backfield. This is an opportunity to hit him on the run and allow yards after the catch. And this is just inexplicable. You can't be short on a fade in the end zone when you actually have the guy beat. Mitchell Trubisky has to learn to throw from the pocket. And something that was said earlier about him really struck me. He said, I know I have the talent and I'm doing the work. This is what Gardner Minshew should be saying. This is what Tom Brady should have been saying when he was replacing Drew Bledsoe. Mitchell Trubisky needs to get on the run and become this guy that we'll see on the touchdown to Taylor Gabriel. If you watch it here, the Redskins are going to bring a blitz. They're going to slant everyone away here and bring Bostic around, and it's going to create a pocket around Mitchell Trubisky. Initially, all he's going to get in this route is an out up top and a seam here. Now let's watch the drop and the rush come up at him. When you see the rush, this is when he has to turn into Maserati Mitch. You watch his eyes here. He's looking down the field and he's trying to figure out, can he get here inside on this nickel coverage? It's not open, so we see him step up in the pocket and get outside. Right now, the decision could be, okay, let me get the dump off right here to Montgomery to allow him to run. But here is why you do step up and you draft him early in the draft and go to number 2 to get him. He gets here and watch the throw downfield to Taylor Gabriel as he goes on the out and up on Josh Norman. These are the plays that he needs to make. The 3 touchdowns that he throws tonight were all outside of the pocket. But you see some of those opportunities he has to move the ball down the field. You heard Booger say, can this offense move the ball down the field with Mitchell Trubisky from the pocket making plays and running the football? And they haven't been able to do that. So from that, you can't get into the play action.
We're terrible at being patient in life, okay? And then you see guys take these monumental leaps like a Mahomes, and grading against him's dumb because he's historic.
Right.
But when you don't see him taking strides forward, at what point do you really begin to get concerned organizationally if that's where you're headed?
You're concerned this year. Okay. And the reason being is when you saw things last year, it was a lot of times he used his legs, but he didn't make the big plays from the passing game when he needed to. This year was supposed to be the steps. There's all the things in training camp about him throwing multiple interceptions at practice because Nagy tried to push it down the field. And now you see this season coming into this game, no touchdown passes, and it took 5 turnovers by your team to get points scored. If Mitchell Trubisky doesn't change, doesn't step up, we already know he's compared to the other 2 guys in Mahomes and Watson. He's going to start being compared to guys like Leaf and Jamarcus Russell as bust.
Wow. When we do R-rated Sports Center, which would be really popular, then you and I can have our talk about it. Never play again, just be healthy. This Bears defense was healthy and they were eating early. Ha-ha Clinton Dix, former Redskin, has a convoy down the sideline. And the 7th defensive touchdown in the last 2 seasons, and 6 of those touchdowns have come on pick sixes. That's the first drive of the game. And the Bears defense, relentless. I mean, that's not going to work on number 52. Vernon Davis tries to get over and slow him down. That doesn't work out. Ball pops out. Keenum did recover. Danny Trevathan, he also has a nose for the quarterback. hesitates for just a second, and that's